if I may, I want to just put emphasis on recognizing the members and for their exemplary, outstanding service to the citizens of our state, country, and the nation, and internationally. Of all the community service work you do, it is an honor to have you here and recognize the great things that you do. I have witnessed myself the chapter in Wichita, Kansas, Mr. Vice President, where they give scholarships to high school students who go on to graduate college and to do great things in our communities and here across the state of Kansas. And so I am co-sponsoring the resolution with the gentleman from Leavenworth, Senator Jeff Pittman, and Mr. Vice President, I'll yield to him.
Chair recognizes the Senator from Leavenworth, Senator Pittman.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'll be brief. I want to recognize the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. In my community in Leavenworth and Wyandotte, they are a presence. And their presence in the education field, their presence in terms of political awareness, understanding what's going on in that region and bringing that role model, particularly African American women, and providing a very strong role model and community for the young women growing up in these communities and providing them with a vision for where they can go. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate what they do for our community as well, and I appreciate being offered the opportunity to co-sponsor this as well. I'll now yield back to the Senator from Wichita.
The chair recognizes the Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Faust-Cadeau.
Senator Faust-Cadeau, I appreciate the comments from the gentleman from Leavenworth, and I didn't even tell him to say those things. That's just fantastic. Appreciate that so much. And normally, Mr. Vice President, Senator David Haley here, my seatmate from Wyandotte, Kansas City, normally would comment to the Delta sorority. However, due to the weather, he's not here, but I know he would want me to say that his mother and his ex-wife was a Delta, one of your sorors. So he sends his best. And Mr. Vice President, if I may, because the entire region of Delta sorority sisters, they are watching us virtually right now. So hello to the other ladies. And then the two ladies that are here in the chamber with us. When I say your name, if you would stand so they can see you. But I do want to just mention names that I said I would. Trudy Baker, Elise Brennan Williams, Ashlyn Clark, Sharon Collins, Dr. Felicia C. Eccles, Alicia Harris, Chase Johnson, Jamie Johnson. Thank you so much, Jamie, for helping to coordinate this event and letting me share words virtually this afternoon. Letitia Martin, Christina Love, Elena Meekins-Kent, Valerie Patterson, and Timmy Young. So, Miss Anna Gregory, if you would please stand. And if Miss Tammy Farr Smith would please stand. And these ladies, Miss Tammy Farr Smith is from right here in Topeka. She said she only had to get down Topeka Boulevard to get here. And then Anna Gregory is from Manhattan, Junction City. So they made it here today to keep in our legislature every year, Mr. Vice President, the third Thursday of February, the Deltas will be here. They'll be here again next year. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you here with us in the Senate chamber. And with that, Mr. Vice President, I move an emergency be declared, the rules suspended, and Senate Resolution 1729 be adopted by voice vote.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carried. Welcome to the Capitol and welcome to the Senate. Messages from the House, the clerk will read.
Announcing passage of House Bill 2458, House Bill 2476, House Bill 2478, House Bill 2540, House Bill 2560, House Bill 2591. House Bill 2560, an act concerning agriculture. House Bill 2591, an act repealing KSA 2021 Supplement 55-193. House Bill 2540, an act authorizing the construction of a permanent memorial honoring Kansas Gold Star families on the state capitol grounds, establishing the Kansas Gold Star Families Memorial Fund. House Bill 2458, an act concerning roads and highways. House Bill 2476, an act concerning motor vehicles. House Bill 2478, an act concerning roads and highways.
This constitutes introduction of those bills previously read. Before recessing, are there announcements? The chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Sykes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I want to take a moment of personal privilege and welcome Miss Natalie Sheedy to the Senate chambers. She is the daughter of my chief of staff, and she chose to come and visit with us today instead of taking a snow day.
Welcome to the Senate. Good to have you here. Are there other announcements? The chair recognizes the senator from Sedgwick, Senator Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I just want to make the body aware that on Monday in Commerce, we will be hearing SB 491, which is permitting workman's comp benefits for first responders who suffer from PTSD. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Chair recognizes the senator from Brown, Senator Pyle.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I just have a question for leadership. Had some questions this week about committee assignments, and yet we have not received in my office any notice of those committee reassignments. I'm just wondering when and if or can we expect some kind of notice from the President's office or whoever to officially make known those assignments. Thank you.
Thank you. Fair question. We will get that notice out. I was not aware that it was not out. Seeing no other announcements, I turn to the Senator, Senator.
Sorry, I was late getting up, so.
That's all right.
Thank
Senator
you
from
for
Sedgwick.
recognizing me.
Senator McGinn.
I just want to, I guess, let everybody know that's listening online that the Kansas Department of Aging and Disabilities did not finish today, and we'll be finishing on Monday at 3 o'clock. So Monday at 3 o'clock, we'll finish KDADS.
Are there any other announcements? Seeing none, the chair recognizes the senator from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Republicans will caucus in room 548 upon recess. And at this time, I'll yield to the senator from Douglas, Senator Francisco.
The chair recognizes the senator from Douglas, Senator Francisco.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Senate Democrats will caucus in our regular room 287 North upon recess. I yield back to the senator from Cali.
Chair recognizes the senator from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the Senate recess to the sound of the gavel.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The motion carried. Senate is recessed. Order. Senate will come to order. The chair recognizes the majority leader from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report. Excuse me. I move the Senate resolve itself into the committee of a whole for consideration of bills on the calendar under the heading of general orders.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. The chair appoints the senator from Montgomery, Senator Peck, to preside over the committee of the whole.
The Senate, having resolved itself to the Committee of the Whole, will now consider those items listed on the calendar under the heading of General Orders. We will turn our attention to Senate Bill 392. The chair recognizes the senator from Butler, Senator Fagg, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 392 would amend and appeal provisions in the Kansas Uniform Securities Act that require a transfer of unencumbered funds in excess of $50,000 to the SGF from the Securities Act Fee Fund of the Kansas Insurance Department on the last day of each fiscal year. The Office of the Attorney General provided proponent testimony. The department representative stated that the bill is in response to the Blummer versus State of Kansas, in which the plaintiffs had argued fees paid by security registrants into the Securities Act Fee Fund should be used for the regulation of the securities industry and not transferred to State General Fund. Representative of the Office of the Attorney General stated the bill would statutorily carry out what the state of Kansas had already agreed to by settlement agreement and subsequent court order, and the plaintiff's attorneys concurred with the bill in compliant with the terms of the settlement of the agreement. There is no opponents. The fiscal note prepared by the Division of Budget on the bill states the bill would not affect the revenues received into the Securities Act Fee Fund, and it was a unanimous recommendation from the Financial Institution and Insurance Committee. And with that, I stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Butler? Seeing none, Senator, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 392 would amend and repeal provisions in the State Uniform Securities Act that require transfer of unencumbered fund in excess of $50,000 to the State General Fund from the Securities Act Fee Fund. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports Senate Bill 392 favorably for passage.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to Senate Bill 417, and we will pass over Senate Bill 417. So we will move and turn our attention to Senate Bill 335. The chair recognizes the senator from Lyon, Senator Longbine, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senate Bill 335 would provide relief to association health plans that are regulated, and only those that are regulated by ERISA, that would no longer, that are not regulated or subject to the jurisdiction of the Kansas Insurance Department, from paying a 1% premium tax. Originally, that 1% premium tax was levied because the Department of Insurance was providing oversight. They no longer do. So this is a elimination of that 1% premium tax that is imposed on them by the Department of Insurance, since the Insurance Department no longer provides that oversight or regulation. With that, I'd be happy to stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Lyon? The chair recognizes the senator from Leavenworth, Senator Pittman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise in support of this particular bill. This is a case where the state's charging fees unfairly to stakeholders out there, and then charging those fees and sweeping them into our general fund. And we should right this wrong that's being done and proceed and approve this bill. Thank you.
Are there additional questions for the Senator from Lyon? Seeing none, Senator from Lyon, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports Senate Bill 335 favorably for passage.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will now turn our attention to Senate Bill 12. For the purposes of carrying the bill, the chair recognizes the senator from Cherokee, Senator Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move we adopt the committee report.
You've heard the motion to adopt the committee report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Senator from Cherokee, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 12 is a bill brought to us by the good senator from Sedgwick, Senator Foscadeau. And what it does is it would require the Department for Children and Families to collaborate with community partners and stakeholders to jointly develop performance-based contracts. And with that, I would like to yield to the good senator from Sedgwick.
Chair recognizes Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Foscadeau.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, I appreciate the senator from Cherokee, Senator Richard Hildebrand, for allowing the hearing last year and then having the debate on the Senate floor today. Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you recall when you and I served together over in the House of Representatives. At that time, we dealt with legislation to help the child in need of care system. And we voted on a lot of bills to help DCF. I think I remember it when it was SRS. But this particular bill, Senate Bill 12, performance-based contracting, the idea was brought to my attention attending a legislative conference in Seattle, Washington, where a senator there shared. I was on a panel dealing with foster care and adoption issues, and our legislation is modeled somewhat off of what they're doing in Seattle, Washington. And I have an article here, Mr. Chairman, that talks about Seattle, Washington, a leading example of, so in July 1st, 2018, marked the beginning of the Department and Children, and they actually call it, we are DCF, and they are actually called DCYF, the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. And their outcome has been tremendous with the implementation of performance-based contracting within DCF. And so, Mr. Chairman, I also know that the current Secretary of DCF and others before her have worked on issues and are implementing issues such of what Senate Bill 12 would do. However, Mr. Chairman, I really believe this legislation should become law. It would help that partnership more so with community organizations on the ground level that are dealing with the foster care issues, the children going into our foster care system and staying in there too long. Mr. Chairman, also, we talk about following the money. The federal level gives the state level funding, our secretary, DCF, whoever it might be, they give a lump sum to contractors. And then the buck kind of stops there. I want, or this legislation would require that that funding information be shared with the legislators and the governor on a regular basis to show that improvement, that evidence of helping our children. So again, this legislation, Mr. Chairman, is just to implement into policy and procedure within the law to help fix the child in need of care system here in the state of Kansas, something that we have dealt with. We have implemented special child welfare committees to address the issue year after year after year. And so I just think would be another measure to help those children who are going into foster care, in and out of foster care sometimes, and then to help provide permanent home placement for other children in our state. So I rise in support, strong support, Mr. Chairman, of Senate Bill 12, and I will yield back to the carrier of the bill, the senator from Cherokee. Thank you.
Senator from Cherokee, Senator Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the good senator from Sedgwick for helping me out with the explanation of Senate Bill 12. Senate Bill 12 did have a hearing last year, and because we had the hearing last year and worked it this year, the bill had to be amended for the date changes to bring them up 1 year. That was the only amendment made to the bill, and it had 3 proponents, 1 neutral, and no opponents. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Cherokee? Seeing none, Senator from Cherokee, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the committee rises and report, it reports Senate Bill 12 favorably for passage.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We now turn our attention to Senate substitute for House Bill 2262. For the purpose of carrying Senate substitute for House 2262, the chair recognizes the senator from Cherokee, Senator Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move we adopt the committee report.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Senator, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate sub for House Bill 2262 started out as Senate Bill 298 last year. The Senate Public Health and Welfare Committee had a hearing on the bill. This bill was brought to us by the Board of Pharmacies. This is the controlled substance form that we have to do each year or annually, and it puts us in line with what the federal government has on their controlled substances. We did have one opponent, and the proponent was the Secretary of the Kansas Board of Pharmacy. We passed that out in a House bill, which made it Senate sub for House Bill 2262 last year. It stayed below the line. There was some development on a new drug that is being going through the process of being FDA approved. It looks like the approval process on this new drug will probably happen after this legislative session. And currently, the way our Controlled Substance Act reads, that would still be illegal in Kansas, and it's something that we feel like should be available to Kansans because it would go through a doctor would prescribe it, and a pharmacist would have to subscribe to it. So we pulled Senate bill or sub for House Bill 2262 back to committee. The Board of Pharmacy approved of the amendment, and we put the amendment on to allow for this drug that has THC and CBD, once it becomes FDA approved, to be okay on our controlled substance. So with that, I stand for questions.
Are there questions for the senator from Cherokee? Chair recognizes the senator from Wyandotte, Senator Petty.
Thank you. I would just stand in support of this bill. As the chairman of Public Health and Welfare mentioned, it would allow for drugs now that have FDA approval. It's not one specific drug, but that would contain an active ingredient derived from marijuana to be available with a prescription. So it isn't one drug, but it could soon be available on the market. And we do have Kansans that undoubtedly, if their doctor prescribes it and pharmacist fills it, would be available to them. So I support the legislation.
Are there additional questions for the senator from Cherokee? Seeing none, Senator Hildebrand, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the committee rises and report House Senate Sub for House Bill 2262 favorably for passage.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. The chair recognizes the Majority Leader from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
You have heard the motion to rise and report. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
The clerk will read the committee report.
On motion of Senator Alley, the Senate resolved itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of bills on the calendar under the heading of General Orders with Senator Peck in the chair. Recommended, Senate Bill 392, Senate Bill 335 be passed. Senate Bill 12 be amended by the adoption of the committee report and the bill be passed as amended. House Bill 2262 be amended by the adoption of the committee report recommending a substitute bill and the substitute bill be passed. Senate Bill 161, Senate Bill 417 be passed over and retain a place on the calendar.
The chair recognizes the senator from Montgomery, Senator Peck.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I move adoption of the committee report.
You have heard the motion. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Stand at ease. Want some senators to arrive. We plan to do an EFA, but in the meantime, we'll be reading in bills, so we'll rearrange the schedule a little bit. Bills and concurrent resolutions, the clerk will read.
Senate Bill 521 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning law enforcement. Senate Bill 522 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning education. Senate Bill 523 by Committee on Ways and Means, an act concerning the Kansas Public Employees Retirement System. Senate Bill 524 by Committee on Ways and Means, an act concerning retirement and pensions. Senate Bill 525 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning education. Senate Bill 526 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning sales taxation. Senate Bill 527 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning sales taxation.
This constitutes introduction of Senate Bill 521 through Senate Bill 527. Reports of standing committees, the clerk will read.
Mr. President, the Committee on Federal and State Affairs recommends House Bill 2212 be amended by substituting with a new bill to be designated as Senate substitute for House Bill 2212, and the substitute bill be passed. Senator Olson, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institution and Insurance recommends Senate Bill 450 be amended by substituting a new bill to be designated as substitute for Senate Bill 450, and the substitute bill be passed. Senator Longbine, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institution and Insurance recommends Senate Bill 400 be amended by substituting with a new bill to be designated as substitute for Senate Bill 400, and the substitute bill be passed. Senator Longbine, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institutions and Insurance recommends Senate Bill 399 be amended, and the bill be passed as amended. Senator Longbine, chairperson. Mr. President, The Committee on Transportation recommends Senate Bill 313 be amended, and the bill be passed as amended. Senator Peterson, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Agriculture and Natural Resources recommends Senate Bill 451 be passed, and because the committee is of the opinion that the bill is of a non-controversial nature, be placed on the consent calendar. Senator Kirshen, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Public Health and Welfare recommends Senate Bill 425 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Senator Hildebrand, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Assessment and Taxation recommends Senate Bill 464 be passed. Senator Tyson, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Assessment and Taxation recommends Senate Bill 432 be passed. Senator Tyson, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Assessment and Taxation recommends Senate Bill 431 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Senator Tyson, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Financial Institution and Insurance recommends Senate Bill 448 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Senator Longbine, chairperson. Mr. President, the Committee on Federal and State Affairs recommends Senate Bill 376 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. Senator Olson, chairperson.
Chair recognizes the Majority Leader from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the emergency be declared, the rules suspended, and the following bills be advanced to final action and roll call. Senate Bill 392, Senate Bill 335, Senate Bill 212, and Senate substitute for House Bill 2262.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion carried. We will now stand at ease. On this roll call, we will take the following. The bills on pages 3 and 4, Senate Bill 392, Senate Bill 335, Senate Bill sub for 2262. Our clerk will read the titles.
Senate Bill 392, an act concerning securities. Senate Bill 335, an act concerning insurance. Senate Bill 12, an act concerning the Department for Children and Families. S sub House Bill 2262, an act concerning controlled substances.
Clerk will call the roll.
Alley. Baumgartner. Billinger. Bowers. Clays, Orson, Dietrich, Dahl, Erickson, Fag, Faust-Godot, Francisco, Gossage, Haley, Hawk, Hildebrand, Holland, Olsher, Kirshen, Cluse, Longbine, Masterson, McGinn, Olson, O'Shea, Peck, Peterson, Petty, Pittman, Pyle, Reichman, Steffen, Straub, Solentrop, Sykes, Thompson, Tyson, Ware, Warren, Wilborn.
Has every senator had an opportunity to vote? Does any senator wish to explain their vote? The chair recognizes the senator from Sedgwick, Senator Masterson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We actually have, I know of at least one senator that's still on the snow roads coming in. That could be 15, 20 minutes. We don't need a call, but if without objection, I would request we leave the roll open for that period of time so people don't feel locked in here and can move on, but it would just be for the purposes of that senator making in and casting their vote if there's not objection from the body.
Seeing no objection, your request is deemed. Yes, the senator from Lyons, Senator Longmire.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Have no objection to leaving the roll open, but for those of us who may want to get on the road, I wanted to double check to make sure that we are pro forma tomorrow or we're not pro forma tomorrow.
The chair recognizes the senator from Cali, Senator Alley.
Yes, we will be on Performa tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and we'll gavel in at 9 o'clock Performa.
So you're free to go. Yes. We're still on explanation of votes. Seeing no explanation of votes. Changes. Does any senator wish to change a vote? We will leave the roll open we'll stand at ease. Yes, Senator from Wyandotte, Senator Petty.
I do believe there might be some committees that are meeting tomorrow, so could we have those make sure that they are meeting tomorrow?
I apologize, Senator from Wyandotte. I did not hear your question.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. I believe that there are committees that are meeting tomorrow, because I know we're Performa, but just wanted assurance that they still are meeting. So maybe we could have announcements?
Yes, we will follow up with that. The chair recognizes the senator from Cherokee, Senator Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Senate Public Health and Welfare Committee will be meeting tomorrow at 8:30 in room 142 South, our new normal meeting room, to work bills previously heard. We will also be working Monday at 8:30 a.m. For a Senate Bill 174 and Senate Bill 454.
To comply with protocol, we are at ease. Please check your calendars for hearings that were coming up. We'll open up for announcements later. Thank you. The chair recognizes the senator from Johnson, Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I vote aye.
Thank you. Clerks will close the roll and tally the vote. "34 having voted in favor and 0 against. Senate Bill 12, House Bill 2262, Senate Bill 392, and Senate Bill 335. These measures having received the required constitutional majority are hereby declared passed. Introduction of the bills, we have done that. Then we'll go right to announcements. The chair recognizes Senator from Lynn, Senator Tyson.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that the Tax Committee was meeting Monday. Senate Bill 311, Senate Bill 520, and Senate Bill 519, and we will work bills previously heard, probably those three if we can. Thank you, Mr.
Are there any other announcements? Seeing none, the chair recognizes the senator from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the Senate adjourn pro forma until 9 a.m. Friday, February 18th, 2022.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor with a hearty aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. The Senate is adjourned.